In today's video, we're diving into the world of forgotten sandwiches. These were once household staples, but for various reasons they've all but vanished from our tables. We'll explore the history behind them and why they disappeared. Number 1. Roast beef and gravy sandwich. The roast beef and gravy sandwich was a comfort food staple, especially popular in American diners and home kitchens throughout the mid-20th century. This sandwich often featured thinly sliced roast beef, typically from a leftover roast, drenched in rich, savory gravy. The meat was piled onto a sturdy slice of white bread or a soft roll, creating a hearty meal that was both filling and flavorful. The appeal of the roast beef and gravy sandwich lay in its simplicity and the comforting familiarity of its flavors. The beef was often roasted with a variety of seasonings, such as garlic, onion, and herbs, which contributed to the depth of flavor in the gravy made from the roast's drippings. This sandwich was commonly served open-faced, with the bread soaking up the gravy, making it a knife and fork affair rather than something you could easily eat with your hands. In many households, this sandwich was a practical way to use up leftovers from a Sunday roast, turning what was originally a family dinner centerpiece into a satisfying lunch the next day. The open-faced style of the sandwich, sometimes topped with mashed potatoes or vegetables, reflected a time when meals were hearty and unpretentious, designed to feed families efficiently and deliciously. Over time, as eating habits evolved and fast food became more prevalent, the roast beef and gravy sandwich began to disappear from regular family menus. The process of making a roast, then preparing gravy from scratch, became less common as people sought quicker, more convenient meal options. While you might still find this sandwich in some traditional diners or comfort food restaurants, it's largely a nostalgic memory for many who grew up with it as a regular part of their diet. The sandwich also varied regionally, with some areas adding their own twists, such as horseradish sauce for a bit of a kick or caramelized onions for added sweetness. Despite its decline in everyday meals, the roast beef and gravy sandwich remains a beloved dish among those who remember it, symbolizing a bygone era of home-cooked, hearty American meals. Number 2. Chicken salad with grape sandwich. The chicken salad with grape sandwich became popular in the 1980s and 1990s, offering a refreshing twist on the traditional chicken salad. This sandwich was typically made with chunks of cooked chicken breast, mixed with mayonnaise, chopped celery for crunch, and sliced grapes for a sweet contrast. The grapes, usually red or green seedless varieties, added a juicy pop of flavor that balanced the richness of the mayo and the savory chicken. To enhance the complexity of the sandwich, some recipes included chopped pecans or walnuts for added texture and a nutty depth. Occasionally, a touch of Dijon mustard or fresh herbs like dill or tarragon was incorporated to elevate the flavor profile, making it more sophisticated and appealing to adult palates. This combination was typically served on croissants, which added a buttery, flaky element, making the sandwich feel more indulgent and upscale. This sandwich was particularly popular at brunches, picnics, and tea parties, where its light yet satisfying nature made it a favorite. However, over time, as health-conscious eating became more mainstream, the heavy mayonnaise base began to fall out of favor. People started seeking out leaner, less calorie-dense options, leading to a decline in the popularity of the chicken salad with grape sandwich. Despite its decline, it remains a nostalgic dish that many remember fondly for its unique blend of flavors and textures. Number 3. Fried Bologna with pimento cheese. The fried bologna with pimento cheese sandwich is a Southern classic that combines two comfort food staples into one indulgent meal. Fried bologna, which was once considered a budget-friendly alternative to more expensive deli meats, becomes something special when it's fried in a skillet until the edges are crispy and slightly charred. The bologna takes on a richer, more intense flavor when fried, which pairs perfectly with the creamy, tangy pimento cheese spread. Pimento cheese, often referred to as the caviar of the South, is made from shredded cheddar cheese, mayonnaise, and diced pimentos. The spread is known for its rich, tangy flavor with a slight sweetness from the pimentos. When these two ingredients are combined in a sandwich, usually served on soft white bread or a toasted bun, the result is a rich and flavorful experience that hits all the right notes: salty, savory, creamy, and a bit spicy, depending on the pimento cheese recipe. This sandwich was popular in southern kitchens and diners, where it was often served as a quick lunch or a comforting snack. The appeal lies in its simplicity and the balance of flavors and textures. The crispy bologna against the smooth pimento cheese creates a satisfying bite. However, as diets shifted towards healthier options and more people moved away from processed meats like bologna, the fried bologna with pimento cheese sandwich became less common. Despite its decline in everyday meals, this sandwich still holds a nostalgic place in Southern food culture. It occasionally makes a comeback in modern interpretations, especially in gourmet versions that use artisanal bologna and homemade pimento cheese, showcasing how old favorites can be reimagined for new generations. Number 4. Cucumber and cream cheese on white bread. The cucumber and cream cheese on white bread sandwich is a simple yet elegant dish that gained popularity in the early 20th century, particularly in the United States and the United Kingdom. It became a staple at tea parties and ladies' luncheons, appreciated for its refreshing taste and easy preparation. The sandwich typically features thinly sliced cucumbers, which are known for their crispness and mild flavor, paired with a smooth layer of cream cheese. The cream cheese adds a creamy richness that complements the subtle flavor of the cucumbers. To make the sandwich, the cucumbers are often peeled and then sliced as thinly as possible, sometimes even using a mandolin. The slices are then placed between 2 slices of white bread, which might be lightly buttered before adding the cream cheese. Some variations include a sprinkle of salt or pepper, or even a dash of dill to enhance the flavor. The crusts are traditionally removed, and the sandwich is cut into small, bite-sized triangles or fingers, making it easy to handle during social gatherings. The appeal of this sandwich lies in its simplicity and the contrast between the soft bread, the creamy cheese, and the crunchy cucumber. It was particularly popular during the summer months when cucumbers were in season, providing a light and refreshing option that was different from heavier meat-based sandwiches. Over time, however, as tastes evolved and more complex sandwich options became available, the cucumber and cream cheese on white bread sandwich became less common outside of specific contexts, like tea parties or British-inspired events. Despite its decline in everyday use, it remains a nostalgic favorite for those who remember it fondly from their childhood or special occasions. Number 5. Egg and sardine on rye. The egg and sardine on rye sandwich is a lesser-known yet nutritionally rich sandwich that combines the robust flavors of sardines with the creamy texture of hard-boiled eggs. Traditionally, this sandwich begins with a hearty slice of rye bread, chosen for its dense texture and slightly sour flavor, which pairs well with the strong taste of sardines. The sardines, often packed in olive oil or brine, are mashed and spread directly onto the bread. Hard-boiled eggs, chopped or sliced, are then layered on top of the sardines, sometimes mixed with a bit of mayonnaise or mustard to add creaminess and a tangy note. The sandwich might also include thin slices of red onion, a sprinkle of capers, or even a dash of lemon juice to brighten the flavors. The rye bread, with its unique caraway seed undertones, complements the richness of the sardines and the eggs, creating a balanced, savory sandwich that is both filling and full of flavor. This sandwich was particularly popular among European immigrants in the early to mid-20th century, who brought their culinary traditions with them to America. However, as American tastes shifted towards more conventional and milder sandwich fillings, the egg and sardine on rye became less common, seen as too strong in flavor for the mainstream palate. Despite its decline, this sandwich remains a favorite among those who appreciate bold flavors and a taste of old-world culinary traditions. Number 6. Chicken liver pate sandwich. The chicken liver pate sandwich is a luxurious yet underappreciated part of American and European culinary traditions. This sandwich features a smooth, rich spread made from chicken livers, which are sautéed with onions, garlic, and herbs, then blended with butter or cream to achieve a creamy texture. The pate is often seasoned with a splash of brandy or cognac, which enhances the depth of flavor and adds a touch of sophistication to the spread. This pate is then generously spread on slices of crusty bread, such as a French baguette or a hearty rye. The bread's firmness is essential, as it holds up well against the pate's rich, dense texture. In many traditional recipes, the sandwich is also complemented with thin slices of cornichons or a dollop of tangy mustard, which provides a sharp contrast to the pate's smoothness and richness. Some variations include adding caramelized onions or even a bit of fruit chutney, which brings a sweet and savory balance to the sandwich. The chicken liver pate sandwich was once a popular choice at upscale gatherings and as a sophisticated option for lunch or a light dinner. However, its richness and the strong flavor of the liver made it less popular as tastes shifted towards lighter, milder sandwich fillings. Despite this, it remains a beloved choice among gourmets and those who appreciate the complexity of traditional charcuterie. Its decline in mainstream popularity is likely due to the rise of fast food and the general move away from organ meats in the American diet, but it still holds a special place in the hearts of food enthusiasts who savor classic European-inspired dishes. Number 7. Deviled tongue on pumpernickel. Deviled tongue on pumpernickel is a sandwich rooted in old-world European culinary traditions, particularly those of Jewish and Eastern European communities. The dish features beef tongue, a delicacy that was more commonly consumed in the early 20th century, prepared by simmering the tongue until tender, then slicing it thinly. The meat is then coated in a deviled sauce, a mixture typically made from mustard, vinegar, egg yolks, and spices, creating a tangy and slightly spicy flavor that complements the rich, tender texture of the tongue. The sandwich is served on pumpernickel bread, which is a dark, dense rye bread with a slightly sweet and tangy flavor. Pumpernickel pairs perfectly with the strong flavors of the deviled tongue, adding depth and contrast to the sandwich. The bread's robust nature is ideal for holding the weight and texture of the tongue, making it a satisfying meal. This sandwich was popular among immigrant communities in the United States, particularly in New York, where Jewish delis offered it as a specialty. It was a dish that reflected both frugality and gourmet taste, making use of every part of the animal in a way that was flavorful and filling. However, as tastes changed and organ meats became less popular in mainstream American cuisine, the deviled tongue on pumpernickel sandwich faded from regular consumption. Today, it remains a rare find, mostly enjoyed by those who appreciate traditional old-world flavors and are willing to explore less common cuts of meat. Number 8. Meatloaf with ketchup sandwich. The meatloaf with ketchup sandwich is a quintessential American comfort food that emerged from the mid-20th century as a practical way to repurpose leftover meatloaf. This sandwich typically consists of a thick slice of cold meatloaf placed between two slices of white bread, with a generous spread of ketchup on top. The simplicity of this sandwich belies its rich, hearty flavor, making it a beloved choice for many families. Meatloaf itself is a dish that gained immense popularity during the Great Depression and World War II, periods when frugality and resourcefulness were essential in American kitchens. Made from a mixture of ground meats, often beef, pork, and veal, combined with breadcrumbs, eggs, and seasonings, meatloaf was an economical way to stretch a small amount of meat into a meal that could feed an entire family. The addition of ketchup, both in the meatloaf mixture and as a topping, added a tangy sweetness that became synonymous with the dish. When it comes to the sandwich, the ketchup plays a dual role. It adds moisture to the dense meatloaf and complements its savory, slightly salty flavor with a touch of acidity. The bread, often lightly toasted, provides a soft yet sturdy vehicle for the thick slice of meatloaf, making the sandwich easy to eat while enhancing the overall texture. The meatloaf with ketchup sandwich was particularly popular in American households from the 1950s through the 1970s, often appearing in lunchboxes as a convenient and satisfying meal. Over time, as American eating habits shifted and fresh, lighter foods gained popularity, the meatloaf sandwich became less common. However, it remains a nostalgic favorite, especially among those who grew up enjoying it as part of their family's culinary repertoire. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in classic comfort foods, and the Meatloaf with Ketchup Sandwich has seen a revival in some gourmet and retro-inspired eateries. Modern versions might feature artisanal bread or homemade ketchup, but the essence of the sandwich, simple, hearty, and full of flavor, remains the same. Number 9. Peanut butter and marshmallow on wheat. The peanut butter and marshmallow on wheat sandwich, often referred to as a fluffernutter, is a nostalgic American treat that combines the creamy richness of peanut butter with the light, airy sweetness of marshmallow fluff. Originally popularized in the northeastern United States, particularly in New England, this sandwich became a favorite for many children growing up in the mid-20th century. The sandwich is made by spreading a layer of peanut butter on one slice of whole wheat bread and a generous amount of marshmallow fluff on the other. When the two sides are pressed together, the result is a sweet, sticky, and slightly salty combination that satisfies a craving for both protein and sugar. The use of whole wheat bread adds a slight nuttiness and a bit more texture compared to the more commonly used white bread, making it a slightly healthier option, though still very much a treat. The origins of the fluffernutter date back to the early 20th century, when marshmallow creme was first developed. The pairing of this marshmallow spread with peanut butter was a natural evolution, and it quickly became a hit among children due to its sweetness and fun texture. By the 1960s, the sandwich was so popular that it was being promoted in advertisements as a perfect lunch option for kids. The peanut butter and marshmallow on wheat sandwich was often enjoyed as a quick and easy meal, especially because it didn't require any cooking. It was portable, easy to pack for school lunches, and provided a satisfying energy boost. Over time, however, as concerns about sugar intake and healthier eating habits emerged, the fluffernutter became less common in everyday diets. Despite this, it remains a beloved memory for those who grew up enjoying this simple yet delightful sandwich. Number 10. Fried oyster po' boy. The fried oyster po' boy is a classic sandwich with deep roots in New Orleans culinary history, representing a rich blend of Southern and Creole flavors. Originating in the early 20th century, the po' boy, short for poor boy, was traditionally a working-class meal, believed to have been created by local restaurant owners Benny and Clovis Martin during a streetcar strike in 1929. They served these sandwiches to striking workers, filling French bread with various inexpensive ingredients like fried potatoes, gravy, or most famously oysters. The fried oyster po' boy specifically became an iconic version, featuring plump oysters that are lightly dredged in a seasoned cornmeal or flour mixture and then deep-fried to a crispy, golden brown. The oysters are the star of the sandwich, offering a briny, tender bite contrasted by the crunchy exterior. The sandwich is typically served on a long, soft French bread roll, which is known for its crispy crust and airy interior, perfect for soaking up the flavors without becoming soggy. A key element of the po' boy is the dressed preparation, which includes lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and a generous slather of mayonnaise, or sometimes a tangy remoulade sauce. The combination of these fresh toppings with the rich fried oysters creates a balance of textures and flavors that is both satisfying and refreshing. Some variations might also add hot sauce or a squeeze of lemon to brighten the flavors. The fried oyster po' boy is not just a sandwich, but a symbol of New Orleans' unique cultural and culinary heritage. Despite its simple ingredients, the po' boy reflects the city's history of resourcefulness and its celebration of bold, robust flavors. While it remains a staple in New Orleans and other parts of the Gulf Coast, the fried oyster po' boy is also celebrated nationwide as a quintessential example of Southern comfort food. Number 11. Vienna sausage sandwich. The Vienna sausage sandwich is a nostalgic and practical meal that dates back to the mid-20th century, often associated with budget-friendly, quick, and easy-to-make food options. Vienna sausages, originally from Austria, are small canned sausages that gained popularity in the United States due to their affordability and long shelf life. These sausages are typically made from a mixture of pork, beef, and chicken, finely ground and encased in a soft, thin casing. They are known for their mild flavor and tender texture. To prepare a Vienna sausage sandwich, the sausages are usually sliced lengthwise or into small rounds and placed between slices of bread. Common choices include white or whole wheat bread, though some variations use rolls or buns. The sandwich is often dressed with simple condiments like mustard, mayonnaise, or ketchup. Some variations might include a slice of cheese, pickles, or onions to add more flavor and texture. The appeal of the Vienna sausage sandwich lies in its simplicity and the convenience of its ingredients. It was particularly popular during the post-war era when canned foods were a staple in American households. The sandwich was a go-to for quick lunches or snacks, particularly for children or when resources were limited. The mild flavor of the sausages made them approachable for even the pickiest eaters, and their soft texture meant the sandwich was easy to eat without much preparation. Despite its past popularity, the Vienna sausage sandwich has seen a decline as eating habits have shifted towards fresher, less processed foods. However, it remains a fond memory for those who grew up with it, evoking a sense of nostalgia for simpler times. In some regions, particularly in the South, it is still enjoyed as a comfort food, often accompanied by memories of childhood or family gatherings. Number 12. Scrambled eggs with onions on a roll. The scrambled eggs with onions on a roll sandwich is a straightforward yet flavorful option that gained popularity as a quick and satisfying breakfast or lunch, particularly in urban areas where deli-style sandwiches became a staple. This sandwich combines the creamy texture of scrambled eggs with the savory sweetness of sautéed onions, all nestled within a soft, fresh roll. To prepare this sandwich, the onions are typically sliced thin and sautéed in butter or oil until they become golden and caramelized, enhancing their natural sweetness and adding depth to the dish. The eggs are then scrambled, often with a splash of milk or cream, to achieve a soft, fluffy consistency. The eggs are cooked gently to retain moisture, ensuring they remain tender rather than dry or rubbery. Once the eggs and onions are ready, they are piled onto a fresh roll. The roll itself is crucial to the sandwich's overall appeal. It needs to be soft yet sturdy enough to hold the filling without becoming soggy. The most common choices are Kaiser rolls or other types of crusty, slightly chewy bread that complement the soft eggs and onions. Some variations might include a slice of cheese, usually American or cheddar, which melts over the eggs to add another layer of richness. This sandwich was especially popular among workers who needed a quick, portable meal that was both filling and tasty. It was a common offering in delis and diners, often served alongside a cup of coffee for a complete, energizing start to the day. Despite its simplicity, the scrambled eggs with onions on a roll sandwich is beloved for its combination of textures and flavors. The sweet onions contrasting with the savory eggs and the soft roll creating a satisfying bite. While its popularity has waned in some areas as breakfast options have become more varied, it remains a classic comfort food for many. In some regions, particularly in the Northeast, it is still a staple in diners and delis, serving as a reminder of a time when meals were simple, hearty, and made with care. Number 13. Corned beef hash sandwich. The corned beef hash sandwich is a hearty and savory creation that brings together the rich, robust flavors of corned beef with the crispy texture of hash. Corned beef hash itself is a dish made from finely chopped or shredded corned beef, mixed with diced potatoes and onions, all fried together until golden and slightly crispy. This mixture is then used as the filling for the sandwich, typically served on a sturdy bread such as rye, sourdough, or even a soft roll. The origins of corned beef hash trace back to the necessity of using up leftovers, particularly during times of scarcity, such as after World War II. Corned beef, a salt-cured beef product, became a staple in many households due to its long shelf life and rich, salty flavor. When combined with potatoes and onions, it became a filling meal that could easily be transformed into a sandwich. The corned beef hash sandwich often includes additional elements to enhance its flavor profile. A fried or poached egg is a common addition, the yolk adding a creamy richness that complements the crispy hash. Some versions of the sandwich include a slice of cheese, which melts over the hot hash, adding a layer of gooey indulgence. Condiments like mustard, horseradish, or pickles may also be used to add tang, and balance the richness of the beef. This sandwich is a perfect example of comfort food, providing a warm, satisfying meal that's both flavorful and filling. It became particularly popular in diners and cafes, where it was often served as a breakfast or brunch item, though it's hearty enough to be enjoyed at any time of day. Despite its humble beginnings as a way to use leftovers, the corned beef hash sandwich has earned a place as a beloved classic in American cuisine, appreciated for its simplicity and depth of flavor. Number 14. Fried chicken livers on a biscuit. Fried chicken livers on a biscuit is a Southern classic that brings together the rich, earthy flavor of chicken livers with the buttery, flaky texture of a homemade biscuit. Chicken livers have been a staple in Southern cuisine for generations, known for their affordability and intense flavor. When fried, these livers develop a crispy exterior while remaining tender and moist inside, offering a satisfying contrast in texture. The preparation begins by cleaning the chicken livers and soaking them in buttermilk, which not only tenderizes the livers but also helps to mellow their strong flavor. The livers are then dredged in a seasoned flour mixture, often containing spices like paprika, cayenne pepper, and garlic powder, which adds layers of flavor and ensures a crispy crust when fried. The livers are typically deep-fried or pan-fried until golden brown and crispy. The biscuit, an essential element of this dish, is usually made from scratch, using a simple recipe of flour, baking powder, butter, and buttermilk. The key to a perfect biscuit is ensuring the butter remains cold until baking, which creates steam and results in a light, flaky texture. The biscuit is split open, and the fried chicken livers are piled inside, sometimes with a drizzle of hot sauce, honey, or even a spoonful of gravy to enhance the flavors. This dish reflects the Southern tradition of making the most of every part of the chicken and turning humble ingredients into something deeply satisfying. The combination of the rich, savory livers and the soft, buttery biscuit creates a comforting and flavorful dish that is both filling and deeply satisfying. While not as common as it once was, fried chicken livers on a biscuit remains a beloved dish in the South, celebrated for its bold flavors and connection to Southern culinary heritage. Number 15. Sweet potato and pecan sandwich. The sweet potato and pecan sandwich is a unique Southern delicacy that combines the earthy sweetness of roasted or mashed sweet potatoes with the rich, buttery crunch of pecans. This sandwich, often enjoyed as a seasonal treat in the fall, reflects the flavors of classic Southern cooking, where sweet potatoes and pecans are staple ingredients. To create this sandwich, sweet potatoes are typically roasted until tender, then mashed with a bit of butter, cinnamon, and a touch of brown sugar to enhance their natural sweetness. The mashed sweet potatoes are then spread generously on slices of bread, often whole wheat, or a hearty artisanal loaf that can stand up to the dense filling. The pecans, either whole or chopped, are lightly toasted to bring out their nutty flavor and sprinkled over the sweet potato spread, adding a delightful crunch with every bite. In some variations, a drizzle of honey or a sprinkle of nutmeg may be added to heighten the sandwich's warm, comforting flavors. This sandwich can be enjoyed warm or at room temperature, making it a versatile dish for both casual meals and more festive occasions. Though less common today, the sweet potato and pecan sandwich remains a cherished part of Southern culinary tradition, especially among those who appreciate the balance of sweet and savory flavors. Number 16. Deviled shrimp on white bread. Deviled shrimp on white bread is a classic Southern dish that brings a delightful combination of bold flavors and simple ingredients. The term deviled refers to the method of spicing up the shrimp, usually with a mixture that includes mustard, mayonnaise, paprika, and a hint of hot sauce. The shrimp are typically boiled or sautéed before being coated in this tangy and slightly spicy sauce. To assemble the sandwich, the deviled shrimp mixture is generously spread on slices of soft white bread, which provides a mild and slightly sweet contrast to the robust flavors of the shrimp. Sometimes, a few slices of crisp lettuce or a sprinkle of chopped parsley are added to introduce a fresh element, balancing the richness of the deviled shrimp. This sandwich was particularly popular as a light lunch or picnic option in the southern United States, where seafood is a staple ingredient. The simplicity of the white bread allows the flavors of the deviled shrimp to shine, making it a satisfying yet uncomplicated dish. Though not as widely seen today, it remains a nostalgic favorite for those who grew up enjoying this flavorful treat. Number 17. Pickled herring on pumpernickel. Pickled herring on pumpernickel is a sandwich deeply rooted in Northern and Eastern European culinary traditions, particularly popular among communities with Scandinavian and Jewish heritage. The combination of pickled herring and pumpernickel bread offers a balance of strong, savory flavors and dense, hearty textures, making it a distinctive and memorable dish. The pickled herring, typically cured in a vinegar-based brine with onions, spices, and sometimes a hint of sugar, provides a tangy, slightly sweet taste with a firm yet tender texture. The process of pickling not only preserves the herring, but also enhances its flavor, making it a rich and flavorful ingredient. This herring is then placed on a slice of pumpernickel bread, which is known for its dark color and robust, slightly sweet and sour taste, derived from the use of coarsely ground rye and a slow baking process. The pairing of pickled herring with pumpernickel is more than just a culinary choice. It's a reflection of a cultural appreciation for bold flavors and nutrient-dense foods, often consumed in colder climates where such hearty meals are necessary. The sandwich is typically enjoyed open-faced, allowing the vibrant colors of the herring and the dark bread to contrast visually. Some variations might include a dab of mustard, a slice of onion, or a sprinkle of dill to complement the herring's flavor. This sandwich was a common sight in delis and homes where European traditions were strong, particularly in the early to mid-20th century. While its popularity has waned in favor of more mainstream sandwich choices, pickled herring on pumpernickel remains a cherished dish for those who appreciate its unique taste and cultural significance. Number 18. Bologna and olive on rye. The Bologna and olive on rye sandwich is a classic example of mid-20th century American deli fare, combining the mild, slightly salty flavor of bologna with the briny, tangy bite of olives. This sandwich was particularly popular in delis and households where simple, hearty ingredients were staples. To prepare the sandwich, slices of bologna, often a combination of pork and beef, are layered on slices of rye bread. Rye bread, known for its dense texture and slightly sour taste, provides a robust foundation that pairs well with the bold flavors of the filling. The olives, typically green with pimentos, are either sliced or chopped and spread across the bologna. The olives add a contrast in both texture and flavor, cutting through the richness of the bologna with their acidity. The sandwich is often enjoyed with a smear of mustard or mayonnaise to add a creamy or tangy element, enhancing the overall flavor profile. Some variations might include a slice of Swiss cheese or a sprinkle of black pepper for added depth. This sandwich reflects a time when convenience and taste were key, utilizing ingredients that were readily available and easy to assemble. While it has become less common in modern times, the Bologna and olive on rye sandwich remains a nostalgic favorite for those who appreciate the straightforward, savory flavors of classic deli sandwiches. Number 19. Crab meat with mayonnaise on a roll. Crab meat with mayonnaise on a roll is a simple yet indulgent sandwich that has its roots in coastal cuisines, particularly along the eastern seaboard of the United States. This sandwich typically features fresh lump crab meat, which is known for its sweet and delicate flavor, mixed with a light coating of mayonnaise. The mayonnaise serves as a binder, enhancing the crab's natural flavors without overpowering them. The mixture might also include a touch of lemon juice, a sprinkle of Old Bay seasoning, or finely chopped herbs like parsley or chives to add freshness and a slight tang. The crab mixture is then piled onto a soft, buttery roll, often a brioche or potato roll, which complements the richness of the crab and mayo. The roll's slight sweetness pairs perfectly with the crab, creating a balanced flavor profile. This sandwich is often served cold, making it a refreshing option for warm weather. But it can also be lightly toasted for added texture. Crab meat with mayonnaise on a roll is a luxurious yet straightforward dish that highlights the quality of the ingredients. It's a favorite in areas where fresh crab is abundant, such as Maryland or the New England coast, but its simplicity and elegance have made it popular in various regions. This sandwich embodies the essence of coastal dining, where fresh seafood is celebrated in its most natural form. Number 20. Pickle and cheese on white bread. The pickle and cheese on white bread sandwich is a simple yet surprisingly flavorful combination that has been a staple in many households, especially in the mid-20th century. This sandwich typically features slices of sharp cheddar or American cheese paired with dill pickles, all placed between two slices of soft white bread. The contrast between the tangy, acidic crunch of the pickles and the creamy, mild cheese creates a satisfying balance of flavors. White bread, with its soft texture and subtle sweetness, serves as a neutral backdrop that allows the bold flavors of the cheese and pickles to stand out. The simplicity of the sandwich is part of its charm, making it a quick and easy option for lunches or snacks. Sometimes a thin layer of mayonnaise or butter is added to the bread for extra moisture and richness. This sandwich reflects a time when straightforward, uncomplicated meals were common in American kitchens. Its appeal lies in the contrast between the creamy, salty cheese and the sharp, zesty pickles, making it a go-to for those who enjoy a mix of textures and flavors in their sandwiches. While it may seem modest compared to more elaborate options, the pickle and cheese on white bread sandwich remains a beloved classic for its nostalgic and comforting qualities.